AI and data-driven world that we're building at Brain Cities Lab. My name is Antoine. I'm head of growth, and so I'm gonna explain to you what we're building right now. We are an AI startup specialized in data science, and we've been developing our own algorithms for the past couple of years. It's a proprietary technology, predictive and behavioral analysis algorithms. And now we're building the data chain, which is the underlying required infrastructure that we need. Because we truly believe that we will be living, and we probably already are living in an AI and data-driven world. I mean, we just have to look around. We all have our smartphones, our health devices, IoT is everywhere. I mean, we have self-driving cars. So we have data coming from everywhere. And it's getting harder and harder to understand where it comes from, who owns it, what it means. And I mean, in the 5, 6, or 7 years to come, we will be generating 10 times as much data as we do today. So it leads to a real problem. I mean, we will be living in a world where we rely on context-aware recommendation from all these devices at any time. And the problem is that if you want to secure this world that we're going to be living in our opinion at Brain Cities, the best way to do it is in a decentralized manner. Because otherwise, this is what's going to happen. You probably know this gentleman, Mark Zuckerberg. He's the CEO and founder of Facebook. And a couple of weeks ago, he was in front of the Senate because of a huge data breach that happened on Facebook. And the main reason behind that is that they have implemented a centralized architecture. And this is basically this is the basic model that we know today. Amazon, Google, they're all centralized. And this leads to huge data insecurity. It also leads to data monopolization, which means economic inefficiencies, no redistribution of data, issues of ownership. Who owns your data? Well, Facebook does, and they do whatever they want with it. I mean, it's even further than data breach. We have data insecurity, data forgery, and all this leads to what we please, thanks. All these are the reasons behind these 3 pain points that we identified. There's a clear missing link between the data that we have circulating, the data scientists that need data to run and develop algorithms, artificial intelligence, and there's a clear lack of marketplace to actually commercialize, but also have a clear review of all these data and algorithms. And this is why we want to build a data chain, which is going to be a blockchain-based exchange to bridge the gap between data producers and data consumers in a trustable and scalable way. Basically, anyone is a data producer. And the people that need the data have huge difficulties to access it. So here's how the data chain is going to work. Data producers, so individuals, for example, citizens or organizations, are going to produce data that is automatically going to be stored and secured on the data chain, on their wallet. Thank you. Second step is we have the community of AI and data developers that are going to access this data, and they're going to be able to run and develop their AIs using this data, and then store again and in a securely way their algorithms on the platform. And the third step is that the organizations, private or public, that needs access to clean data sets to AI will go on this platform to access it, and they will know what they use. Actually, this is what we call outcome as a service. this is where the DC token comes into play. This is going to be the data currency. So on the one hand, so how it's going to be used? We have, well, of course, investors who are going to hope that it increases in value as the number of users on platforms grows. We have the AI and datasets producers who are incentivized to clean the data, run and develop AIs, and store it, and rent them, sell them on the platform. And we have the contributors, which are basically anyone who produces that data, who are incentivized to let other companies, other developers use their data in an anonymously way. And third, we have the corporations that access all these elements. And for all this, we need the blockchain, because we absolutely need the key properties of the blockchain to make sure that we protect data, that we, the blockchain helps us notarize the data. So it's what we call also proof of existence. Once the information is on the blockchain, we know where it comes from, who owns it, it's stamped, basically. And it also allows secured P2P, peer-to-peer transactions, because this is also something that's really important. It's not just about storage of data, it's also actually ensuring the flow from point to point in a secure way. And I really want to, at this point, I really want to emphasize on the fact that everything that I just told you is not just a theory or a dream or whatever. It's actually something that we are implementing in real use cases, so I'm going to describe it to you. We are actually working on different verticals. So we are transforming businesses. We're working with Porsche to help them innovate and transform their HR management, the way they manage and understand their employees. We are working to transform advertising. So we're building a new kind of platform for advertising, and this is the latest client that we've had. We just started the project last week. We are transforming a hospital, and they have 1 million patients a year in their hospital. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement the infrastructure, the data chain, to store, secure, and make it easy to access the data, would it be of the employees or of the patients, for example. And then the second layer is going to be our technology, the Brain Cities algorithms, to help them analyze their people, understand their personalities, their competencies. Even more ambitious than that, we're now transforming cities. Last month we signed with the city of Montreuil, which is in the great area of Paris. And the goal here is to help the city tackle issues like unemployment, for example, by creating citizen wallets, where citizens are going to be able to store any kind of data, like record banks, passports, medical records. And on top of that infrastructure, which is the data chain, we are also going to implement our technologies once again to help the city understand their population, which means what kind of background do they have, what kind of competencies do they have. And in this way, they're going to be able to understand how to push, what kind of education or training to push, how to invest, how to attract investment in companies. And also, in our opinion, this is the first step in implementing universal basic income, which is something huge. Because the goal of the data chain is to transform data into financial asset. Because we make sure that we disintermediate the data brokerage, and we make sure that data owners actually automatically transform their data into revenue. And for all these very ambitious projects that we started and kicked off these past weeks, we are going to raise equity, and also we're going to launch an ICO, which is going to be the kick off the data chain platform. So we were looking to raise 15 million. And our goal is to invest in the hardware that we need, the computers, the computation power. We're going to need top-notch engineers for that. We're going to need to register the technology. And even more importantly, we need to give back to our community, and we're going to create a collaborative lab for AI. This is the team, champions. We're all behind Kaze. He's been on this project for the past 4 years, working hard on developing the technologies. He's the architect behind the data chain. The rest of the team has different backgrounds, tech, business, marketing. So it's a pretty complete panel, and we're working hard in achieving the data chain. And also around these very ambitious projects, we were able to surround ourselves with advisors from all kinds of huge companies. I mean, they have nothing to prove anymore. We have Sandrius from Iconiq Lab. He's working with Max, helping us launching the ICO, and all these people believe in us. And through all this is going to be my last thing. We built an ecosystem around us. So we're backed by huge companies like SAP, HP Enterprise. We also last month entered the acceleration program of NVIDIA, not a small company. We are now, this is not accurate, it's not 100K since, I mean, I told you we have had a couple of new clients, especially that hospital and the city. So it's going to be already more than 1 million users on this infrastructure. And once again, the community of hackers, we have a core team of developers that surround us, and they're hard at work creating new features and building the data chain with us. So this is great. Thank you very much. This was the data chain by Brain Cities, and if you have any questions, we'll be around.